for this week's 2-minute tip, I'm going to share a quote that you'll hear me talk about as we get to know each other. And it usually will come when we start talking about industries of interest. So part of working together, I'm going to have you fill out an intake form. I need that. It's going to help answer some basic questions, get me an understanding of where you're coming from, a little bit about your resume, that type of thing. But the bottom of the intake form is talking about the different industries that franchising sits in. And I do ask, I want to know your whys of possibly why are your eyes drawn to a certain industry, or why are you interested in even exploring something that maybe we hadn't talked about, just hadn't come up in conversation. And it doesn't necessarily, mean to say that's the only thing that we're going to talk about, but I do want to know, why were you interested in that plumbing business? And maybe your dad was a plumber and your cousin works for a plumber, and you've always had an interest in how things flow, just for the fun there. Anyway, okay, so let's look down and what maybe makes sense in that industry. But the other thing I'm going to tell you is that I reserve the right to show you anything. And basically what that means is you don't know what you don't know. I've got any one time 600 to 900 brands sitting on this shelf. And something that you're going to say, or something I'm going to read in whatever we are talking about or discussing, is going to trigger a moment that says, maybe this is for Don and Christy. Maybe this is for John and Lisa. And we're just going to look at it and talk about it. And so rely on that and expect that. I do reserve the right to show you anything. Possibly there's a common denominator in what you thought you wanted in business, but then a certain point that you said, oh, but I don't want that. I definitely want to perhaps work and serve the senior market. I'm really drawn to them. I'm drawn to that population, but I don't want a lot of employees. Okay, so senior care probably isn't the thing for you, but based on that interest, did you know there's brands out there that do senior care placement, and they work with a very small amount of employees, and they're senior facing, that possibly that's more of the industry that you are interested in. You might not have even known that existed. That's where I'll reserve that right to show you anything. So just be in mind that, or keep in mind that tip is out there, and that is how we are going to get to that needle in the haystack. Hope that helps.